Foundation for discipleship. Jesus Christ did not compromise. When it comes to the issue of following him, he doesn't compromise it at the point of recruitment. When he is about to recruit disciples, he doesn't compromise foundation. And that is the reason why at foundation, you do every necessary things to make sure that it doesn't have problem. Because if foundation have problem, the whole building is in danger. You know that if we have a very good building, we have a very good and good looking building outside, but if the foundation is faulty, do you know that there is nothing wrong with the roofing sheets? But if the engineer came and they trace what is wrong with the building, and they now discover that the problem of that building is foundation, you know that even though the plank for the roofing doesn't have problem, even though the roofing sheets did not have problem, but they have to remove all of these things. And that is why Jesus Christ also did not take it with a levity hands. Jesus is really serious about foundation. And in this, by the grace of God, number one thing that we are going to be looking at, first of importance, is the condition for foundation. And that's the reason why what I'm laying today as a foundation is very, very important for every Christian, every born again child of God that want to make heaven. The foundation for discipleship. And you know, I said Jesus Christ himself did not take it with levity hands. Jesus Christ himself knew very well that if any man is going to finish well in the career of his walking with him, there is a criteria for foundation. There is a condition for foundation laying, because that is what will determine whether you will finish it well or not. And this will take me to the book of Luke, by the grace of God. Book of Luke chapter 14, by the grace of God. What is condition for foundation laying? Before I proceed, let's settle the condition for foundation laying. You see that Jesus Christ did not even compromise the issue of following him. The issue of being his disciple, that you want to become a disciple of Jesus Christ, is not what they force people to do. And that is the reason why Jesus Christ began to give them the condition for the foundation laying of disciple. To be a correct disciple, he says, see, this is a condition. What is number one condition? Is said, and there went a great multitude with him, and said unto them, can you see that even though many people are following Jesus, there is a great multitude. Many people are following him, not because they want to become his follower. Some people are following him because of the miracle they have saw. Some people are following him because he has fed them sometimes ago. Some people are following him because they just see crowd following him and they know that he's a miracle worker. But Jesus Christ did not, because of that, lower the standard of his discipleship. He doesn't compromise it. He now said, after the crowd has following him, the Bible said he turned and he said, if any man come to me, that is fourth condition. He said, if any man will come to me and eat not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sister, yea, and his own life also. See the first condition by laying a foundation. What is first condition? He said, any man that want to join this discipleship chariot, any man that want to become my disciple, that want to enter this family discipleship, there is something you must go and settle first. And what is that? He said, you must hate your father, mother, wife, children. He said, brethren, he said, and your own life also. Now, before I press further, let's explain a little bit about what Jesus is saying. Because for some people, they will begin to say, how can I want to follow someone and I will begin to hate my father?